I feel sorry for any federal agents that want to come in here and try to push us around or anything like that. I really don't want violence toward them, but if they're going to come bring violence to us, well, if that's the language they want to speak, we'll learn it.
Well, that sounds...
I don't think most of us will ever know just how close we were to one of the most bloody conflicts between civilians and people in law enforcement that has happened in decades. I mean, you'd have to go to Chicago to see gunfights between gangsters and federal agents or state agents to even find something, or the old Wild West. Folks, it was so close. It was so dangerous. Now, let's go back to Chris Matthews and hear some more of his blathering.
Wayne, I noticed a lot of these ranchers out here, the guys who were the states' rightsers on the far right, all have cameras with them. It looks to me like they were trying to create an incident, a violent incident, that they would all have their cameras on, and then they'd be able to say, Waco again. Anytime there's use of force by the federal authorities, they win. So therefore, when the federal authorities don't use force, they declare surrender. So they win both ways.
Well, Chris, I have a simple question for you. Do you wish that they didn't have cell phones? I mean, think of Rodney King. When that footage of Rodney King getting beaten by the officers emerged, you were glad. It showed police brutality. I thought that you enjoyed the First Amendment, Chris. I thought you were glad that people could use footage, get footage, use footage to defend themselves against wicked and evil deeds. And for him to say that they were trying to create violence is absurd. They were trying to get the BLM to leave. Okay? Doing a peaceful sit-in, blocking movement of trucks, that's not trying to create violence. I've participated in a lot of sit-ins, a lot of times when we block traffic, okay? And the point is to achieve the goal of justice, not for people to create violence. Oh, help us. All right, let's go to the next clip. And this one, I'm going to let you know ahead of time, is very troubling, and I'm going to, again, speak to it directly.
We were actually strategizing to put all the women up at the front. If they're going to start shooting, it's going to be women that are going to be televised all across the world getting shot by these rogue federal officers.
All right, so former sheriff from Arizona, Graham County, Richard Mack, said that they were actually strategizing, putting women in the front so that if they got shot, this is what the world would see. It was very gutsy of them. I'm assuming, I pray God, that the women all knew that they were literally being put in the front as kind of a human shield. But the question I have is that the best strategy? It's easy for me to second guess, armchair quarterback, but I've led thousands of people in protests where thousands of people were getting arrested, all right? I have a history of this kind of thing. I take it very seriously, and I'm interested in it. There is great value in Gandhi-like or Martin Luther King-like, or Operation Rescue-like, peaceful civil disobedience where you do put yourself in harm's way, but everyone puts themselves in harm's way, okay? Did you feel it? Did you think, oh, this makes me think of another situation where they had the human shield, Saddam Hussein had the human shield to protect himself? Now, I know that these guys didn't say they were doing it to protect themselves. They were doing it so that if they did get shot, that's the image that would have been seen. Now, as a strategy, that would have had horrific implications, horrific backlash against the Obama administration, the federal government. The rage would have been palpable. But I'm just not sure if that was the best plan to put women in the front. I mean, I don't know. I think that if you know that violence is going to erupt and you're prepared to fire back, then just go ahead and put the men up front. Put the men up front. Let them take the first shots. Let them return fire. I don't want that, but something about that, I wouldn't have said it that way. That's not good PR. And that clip, by the way, that clip is going to emerge to be used by the left wing and by the supporters of government tyranny. That clip is going to emerge, and it's going to be a problem for a long time to come. We'll be right back.